right, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We have with us Quinn Travis, the new director of FLYRS.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you so much. And we were just diving because you can get me talking biking real fast, and apparently you're even faster on it. So yeah, we're just super excited. You know, when I got the announcements that first Tyler was going, that's like a big thing.
Yeah,
it's a big thing for FLYRS, right? From a founder type role, and then shifting over, but. And even just the 30 minutes I've gotten to know you here, just super excited where it's going here. So for those, I'm sure I don't know how much has been out because I get all the FLYRS emails. I don't think there's been like a heck of a ton of information about you. So let's dig into it. Who is Quinn Travis?
Quinn Travis. It could be Quinn Tyler. I kind of want to just like be focused on Flagstaff Youth Riders when I got brought on, and just kind of go as everything has been in the past, and so I haven't made any like announcements of like, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do. I didn't like post any social media like on FLYRS of like who I am. But yeah, born and raised in Gunnison, Colorado. I was born into the mountain bike scene. I don't know if you know Dave Weens, but some people out there listening knows Dave Weens. Dave Weens is 7-time Leadville 100 winner.
Okay.
Beat Lance Armstrong in the Leadville 100. Okay. He was my next door neighbor. And so when I was a kid, we'd have like these weekend like XC races at Hartman Rocks. It was the coolest thing. And like it would be super cool if Flagstaff had something like this, but it was super underground. All these really badass riders would meet at the base of Hartman's and then do kind of this race. And then after the race, they would come back and eat pizza at Paisans. They would drink beer and eat pizza and do the prizes every Saturday. Yeah. So I was like always in that element, as a kid. And my dad was a single speed rider. And then I just didn't like it.
Okay.
The
racing?
Or the biking? I always rode. I started BMX racing.
Okay.
And then I started getting into mountain biking, but I never really liked it. I didn't really have a program like FLYRS.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of trying to keep up with your old man, and you're just like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to.
No pedal assist.
Yeah, I had no pedal assist, and we were riding like janky, steel framed, like horrible suspension. He made me like wear clips, and I couldn't even get out. So it was just I didn't have people to do it with.
Yeah.
Up until like I was like 15 or 16. Then it was like my buddies started getting into like mountain biking with me.
Okay.
Then we would go a little further. And so then I got the bug. But the bike never left my life. Even though I wasn't mountain biking, we were, as I was talking earlier, we were building dirt jumps and then ripping dirt jumps for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the freedom of riding the bike, we would just get on our bikes and we would just go around town and just like hit all the natural features. Like City Markets like had this little ramp.
Yeah.
You can jump off of it onto the street. So we would hit that, and then we go over to the hospital and like jump the stairs, and then we go to the college. So we were like this little biker gang. We would always go around and like just get really good at bike handling. Like even though we didn't know it, it was actually like super crucial in my cycling skills. Like you just start hitting jumps, go to the skate park and get yelled at by like the older skateboarder kids.
Yeah.
Like then trying to keep up. You don't want to fight, so you leave, because you're a kid. You don't want to get beat up by a high schooler. So I just kind of grew up around it. And then, especially when I came to college in Flagstaff, that's when I really fell in love with just like going out by myself and then the adventures that you can seek. And you can just get really scared and like vulnerable out there. Like if you go far enough, and then I loved that. Like I loved just being like, no one knows where I am, and it's kind of scary because if I like were to flat and can't fix it, like I'm walking a long ways. Or, you just like you have to learn how to be like primitive.
Some independence there.
Yeah, very independent, but like it's like primal nature, where it's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, and just hearing you say that, I was with, so I've bounced, as I've been coaching the last 2 years, that bounced around in a couple different groups, and I was with the middle school race team for a hot minute, and that was fun. That was challenging. I was like, honey, like, because they'd break up. Well, no, and actually, let's see. I was middle school race team one of the seasons, and then it was one of the middle schooler teams when they would break up into like hot, medium, or like and spicy. Yeah. And so, or hot, mild, or like mild, medium, spicy. So just the kids could decide what kind of day they were having, and oftentimes, like, you know, and I was fine riding with the miles, but when it's like, okay, you ride spicy, I was like, we're gonna ride spicy. Yeah. And we were up on, I was with Brandon Blue, and we were up all the way back on Sunset, I believe, and there was a lot of burn area, and like the needles had fallen, and like we couldn't even see where we were like really going. It's just like kids were like free mountain descending here on the hill, and it is that fun, like, you know, this unknown. It's beautiful, man. Like just what biking can do, and for kids and for yourself. Yep. So yeah, no, I love that you highlighted that independence piece.
Yeah, it's very independent. It's a holistic approach. I mean, everyone who rides bikes and loves riding bikes don't love the bike. It's something different. It's something you can't even, words can't describe it. You know, it's fun, right? I love the sound of a hub, right? You know, it's really cool, but there's a different, I don't want to say, it's almost a spiritual feeling, right? It's like this deeper sense of like connection with you, your surroundings, and the growth that happens, not just fitness wise, but just as a human.
And confidence,
everything that you can relate to the bike and bring it to real life, it translates so well, you know. Absolutely. And what's really cool about a program like the FLYRS, and like taking these kids and putting them together in a group and putting them with a facilitator, a coach who knows their way around trails. We're building lifelong cyclists that will be more compassionate, more loving to not only the environment that they're in, but then also to each other, and have more respect and appreciation for kind of the little things. Like I was telling you, Dawn to Dusk just happened on Saturday, right? And about like hour 7, you know, I've been doing the same lap for all day long. Super bored. I hurt, like, it's not my legs, but it was like my back, my neck. And all I was thinking about was like how much gratitude I have. Not only I can do this, but how excited I am to get back to my family, back to my wife, back to the store. I can't wait to drink like a cold thing of water and a Coca-Cola, you know, like those. Like it just, you just start appreciating so much more than what you're used to. Because we wake up every day and we're like, wow, God, we don't got to go to work again. I hate my job. Oh, stupid traffic. And we always get in that mode. And you don't have if you don't have an outlet like cycling to just separate from that, and then you can come back the next day and go wake up and be like, wow.
No, exactly. You know? Well, and just to detach, you know, it is such a busy life. And I think that's just amazing. I learned, that was actually one of the major reasons why I went from sponsor or just sponsor to coaching, is like, and at first, you know, with the busy life and everything, I was like, I don't know if I can commit to that earlier time frame. And then once I did it, I was like, oh no, that's my commitment to my mental health. Cause like I can be out there and I'm fully committed, and just to be able to detach and see what's really important. Right. Cause we do get caught up, I think, on a lot of things that aren't as important, but bring it that down to the ground level then. So you then being in the director role, like, you know, what's, I guess if you had, so you said keeping the program pretty standard at this point in time. You mentioned kind of maybe, you know, changing some classes here and there. I mean, what are your biggest, if you had to like open mic to community, as open mic as my podcast is, and as you'll promote this, right? What are your biggest like needs or asks or announcements to like the parents of FLYRS and the community in that?
Well, I think the community will get to know me as I'm in this role, right? That's why I've haven't really been super public about who I am and what I do. Yeah. A lot of the kids know who I am. A lot of the parents know who I am if they go to like NBAA races. Like I own the single speed coffee trailer for a long time, which was at all of the NBAA, all of the ACA races. Yeah, so like outside of cycling, they knew me as the coffee guy.
Yeah, yeah, okay, cool.
And so, and I love that. That's why we bought the trailer, because I love this community.
Yeah,
it's like
I love that. Yeah.
The community of Arizona cycling, it's just amazing. Everyone's so nice and loving and welcoming. But like this year, 2025, we're super new. There's a lot of changes going on. And so to continue the program as Tyler has created this amazing organization to run, we're going to continue to run that program the same way. And we're not going to try to grow it to 5,000 kids or 10,000 kids, and and blow everything out of proportion. Because Tyler emphasizes it's always quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Whether we're going into a new school to do a new school program, or we're adding another program, like a bike packing program. We kind of talked about that a little bit ago. Yeah. So if we're adding something, there's a lot of thought and love that goes into it. Right, because we want to make sure that the kids that are going to be in that program are going to take away a lot from that program, and that's going to be the sustainability of this organization. Is every single kid that comes to Camel Mesa with this one coach, right? We want that one coach to be all the coaches, to want to be in the program again in the fall or in the summer, and just kind of build that community still as Tyler's created it, and just kind of keep flowing. Because if we start building and adding, and I think a lot of the community was super scared that, oh my God, there's a new executive director, they're going to add a bunch of things, or they're going to change a bunch of things, and it's not going to be the same.
Sure.
That's not what I'm going to do. I really do care for the administration, the staff, the board, and we're going to continue the legacy of what Tyler's created. And hopefully we can just kind of make it smoother, right? Yeah. Like every year, just make it smoother. And if we hear from the community that this should be added, or they want something to be a part of FLYRS, we'll take that into account and we will add it, but with quality and care and with thought, So
I love it. And my kids would make sure, as I was thinking of like what could change. The green and the purple, is it going to be green and purple still?
No. No. We have a lot of leftover green and purple. And Tyler even noticed that too. He's like, dude, I've always had green and purple, man. It's like we have so much green and purple that we're just going to continue the green and purple. You see a purple shirt with the green logo, or
that's the hard part, is there's brand recognition.
Dude, it is like, do we change it? Because like everyone knows it.
The hard part
everyone
is
knows
brand
it.
recognition.
Yeah.
When my kids realize it. Anyways, no, there's positives. There's positives on that one.
Yeah. But I don't know. And it's hard to like match, like we could do different colors, but at the end of the day, we're green and black. And so we need to come up with a really cool color. And so if you're listening to this and like,
you should, not, I know you have plenty on your plate, but there should be like some like FLYRS design competition or something.
It's been thought about.
I bet.
So this could be open to the community. We've been talking about doing an online store.
Okay,
it's been needed. I mean, a lot of parents come and they've talked to Tyler and Stephanie and Hannah, and they're like, where is the apparel? We buy the same hats, the same shirts. Like, so we're going to try to open up like an online store where it kind of gets drop shipped. But what would be really cool is kind of have either the kiddos or parents or whoever's like an artist send us some cool like cycling art. We can like put it on a t-shirt. Yeah. So we have different varieties, but it's all FLYRS based. It supports and the cause that we do, you know?
I love it.
And I love that style of like adding a new like sending out a newsletter and being like, guys, there's a new hat,
limited edition.
It's just flopping off the shelf, you know?
I love that.
So we are. I'm playing around with kind of our slogans like ride, smile, connect, right? Ride, smile.connect. And then I put a little smiley face below it.
Do you smile before you connect, or do you connect and smile?
I think it's the connection and then the smile.
Is it ride, connect, smile, or ride, smile, connect? I don't know. No, I like the way you had it.
Ride, smile, connect. I don't know.
Challenge everything.
Now I'm second guessing. I'm going to have to look at it.
Yeah. No, I love that. So cool. That's amazing. And it just seems like, again, I've appreciated the opportunity to sit down with you and just see the energy, excitement you have for biking, that you have for the kids, obviously. My kids, we're ready. We got that 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. whatever time always in the calendar, and excited to dive in again this spring season. Like I told you, I was out for fall, so I really did miss. Like it was such a bummer to miss riding with the kids and things. And so I'm super excited to get back into it. And yeah, I'm excited. I just can't wait for the season to start.
Yeah, neither can I. I'm anxious for the season to start. It's like I just started this position and now we're going into Christmas break.
Yeah.
And I can't just sit. It's like, it's so tough, yeah. It'll be good to spend a lot of time with the family and kind of enjoy the holidays. But in the back of my mind, it's like, it's
let's go.
Let's get on bikes.
Yeah. Well, and should people be businesses? You're wanting to connect with businesses, sponsorships.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always a need, right? And always can be doing more as far as funding the school programs and the bikes and the sponsorships of other individuals, right? There's always a financial need. So I think people, hopefully, now, I shouldn't even put you on the spot there. Is tax credit? Is there any tax credit that hits?
Yeah. So we're a 501c3.
Yeah.
We are a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so we rely heavily on grants, donors, sponsors, and businesses. So, and I think, there might be a disconnect. Some people might not know that we're a nonprofit, because we do really big programs.
Yeah.
So it almost gets kind of blinded by the fact that, they're making a lot of money. And at the end of the day, it's not that way at all. We give out, $40,000 plus a year in financial aid.
Yeah.
So that's school programs. That's getting kids who can't afford it to get on bikes. We're doing work in a lot of the Title I schools. We're buying bikes for a program, putting bikes into the school. We're paying coaches to be in that school to give these kids a quality experience. So that's, I think, a lot of what the community doesn't see is what we do behind the scenes. When we're not doing programs, we're constantly in schools and doing good stuff. And so I think from the community, that's another huge thing that Tyler emphasized too, is, if we can rally together as a community in Flagstaff and support a nonprofit that gets kids on bikes, it's more than just the spring, the fall, and the summer camps. It's getting more kids in the school programs on bikes who really need it. Those are the kids that really need it.
That's what I think was very important when I came on as a coach. And you sit through the trainings. Appreciate it, Hannah and Stephanie. that it's the focus that this is not a race program, right? It's fantastic that it feeds a lot of the more serious. I know there is some a very small racing element to FLYRS, but then it feeds some of the the high school, middle school team elements as well. And but it's about people on bikes, and we take that for granted, right? And I always, one of the quick stories that my mom later on in life was, she wanted to get a bike. She was in her early 60s and wanted to get a bike, and just to be out there and active, and my dad was a hardcore cyclist, and so he was looking for used cyclist bikes. So no, this isn't what mom needs, and we put her on. I spent some time in the Netherlands, so I put her on a Gazelle. An e-bike Gazelle, walk, pass through, easy, get on for grandma kind of thing.
Yep.
And that little extra assist. So this isn't an e-bike plug, but just the seeing someone in their 60s that could experience bicycling again as a kid, and just that freedom, we couldn't pull her off the thing. And so it just is I just felt, yes, FLYRS is a youth program, but biking is just such an awesome thing to get kids on, and not a lot of kids have that exposure experience or the coaching or tools or people to be able to approach it in a safe, manageable way.
Yeah. And we're the only program that does this in Flagstaff. And so for the longevity of the program, And the organization, you know, having support from the community is going to make that happen. And yeah, when like we do have a racing element, but we keep the costs extremely low.
Yeah.
Right. We're moving those barriers. So the kids that can't really get on these high performance, like pre-pro teams, right? That's $3,000 to $10,000. A lot of kids can't do that, but they are still really fast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna foster that, right? And hopefully we can find a way where we can build them into a program, you know, where they can get onto a program for free, or just love cycling for the rest of their life.
Absolutely.
You know, because everyone wants to ride a bike. Everyone, whether you can afford it or you can't, everyone wants to ride a bike. So our goal is like to get everyone on a bike.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, awesome, Quinn. Well, this is great to get to know you better. I was super excited for the 2025 season. Any other last words?
Ride, smile, connect.
I love it.
All right.
Hey,
thanks, Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah.